YNABers. My name is Jesse Meekum, and this is podcast number 34 for You Need a Budget, where we teach you 4 rules to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck, get out of debt, and save more money faster. Save money for the things you want. Make your money start doing things you actually care about. Today, I have a success story. We're going to have Bill on the line. He's been using YNAB for 3 years and has just been killing it with his wife. You'll hear his wife in the background of the call for just a split second when they talk about saving for a kitchen renovation. Anyway, without further ado, here is my earlier conversation with Bill. All right, I'm here with Bill. He's from the Philadelphia area. Hello, Bill.
Hey, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, it's an honor.
So let me start with just asking you what you do for a living.
I'm an IT guy, and I work in a pharmaceutical company in the area and support our marketing and sales group. So I get to work on a lot of fun stuff like iPad and all those cool things.
Oh, cool. Fun.
Yeah.
How long have you been using YNAB?
Well, I found, I guess it was Dave Ramsey's, Total Money Makeover around July of, or the beginning of 2009. And then I didn't really do a budget, and then I started to help somebody else out with their budget, and I found YNAB. And then, so I would say since July, so almost 3 years.
Okay, cool. And you were working on the Total Money Makeover, which is awesome. What was your financial situation before using YNAB, and then 3 years later, what's it like now?
Complete, utter, total turnaround. It's we're one of the fortunate folks where we have my wife works. We both have good income, but it doesn't matter if you make $25,000 or $500,000 a year. If you spend more than a dollar more than that, you're in the same situation where you're in debt. So all of a sudden, we found ourselves with credit card debt. We had a situation. What really kind of hurt was we got an IRS notice from an error from 2001.
Ooh.
Yeah, when we adopted my oldest daughter. And so next thing you know, we have $15,000 in penalties and back taxes at the same time as getting my new tax return saying you owe $6,000. So all of a sudden we were hit out of nowhere and realized we were in a, not the best of situations. And how do we get there?
Wow. Okay. So external force kind of woke you up a little bit, and you went from there. Okay. So
yeah.
How are things now? You guys have been on the program for 3 years, which is longer than most that I talk to. So,
yeah, for the Dave program.
Yeah. Or for YNAB.
Yeah, we're for both. Yeah, it's happy to say we're on baby step 6 right now, where we're working on paying off our house early as part of our plan to make sure we can pay for our kids' college education.
Cool.
And it's just night and day. I mean, YNAB has just completely turned it around. So Dave's program was great, but YNAB was the absolute catalyst. It was the missing piece to the puzzle. And I was a Quicken guy back in the day, but it just doesn't do anything near what YNAB can do from a budgeting perspective and from the rules. It's a whole philosophy that's just different from everything else.
What do you think is the biggest? Having some background in Quicken, which I think a lot of people do. What's been the biggest difference between using the two different softwares?
So Quicken pretty much tells you where you spent your money, and in this case, especially as a couple, we sit down and plan, and we tell our money where we want it to go. And then over time, you start to smooth out all of those extra things that come into play. And so you just start to really plan better. And first, it was see where our money was going because we had no idea. And then secondly, it was great. Now we're starting to get out of the hole we're in. Let's keep going. And it just turned it around. And Quicken just allows you to only retrospectively look at things.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So you're on step 6. I'm not super familiar with the baby steps, but that means that you are out of debt except for the house, right?
Correct.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. Yeah. Which is it's a huge turnaround. So I used to have my signature on the YNAB forum, which, by the way, that's the other big difference. Is it's the world's friendliest forum, and I immersed myself in the forum, and so many people were helpful. And I worked with Aaron in the beginning and took a lesson, and it just completely set me off in the right direction.
Cool. That's great. So you worked with Aaron one-on-one for a little bit?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, as an IT guy, I had a pretty good sense of, how to go about using the application, but there was just some concepts that I wasn't quite familiar with. And
Mm-hmm.
sitting down one-on-one, I think it was just an hour, maybe 90 minutes, was just such a great way to get started and make sure I was doing things the right way.
Well, now you've been kind of turning that around and teaching other people kind of one-on-one as well. So just kind of tell me how that's been going for you.
It's great. It's a lot of fun when when you're in a situation where we were financially, and to be able to turn around and be blessed with going in a much better direction. You want to be able to help other people, and I've got my sister on it. My brother, my nephew just graduated from university. He wants to start out the right way, so he's starting his first job.
Cool.
I've got two people at work that I'm helping out. It's just, and they're all in different. And my best friend. And it's helped him and his communication with, his wife and their plan. And it's such a great feeling to be able to help other people out, whether, whatever stage of life they're in from their financial perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is interesting to see that it helps everyone regardless of where they're at. Like the person that has a lot of wiggle room makes really good money. Maybe someone that's single doesn't have kids yet or whatever, like it helps everyone feel better. And that's why I've always kind of liked that aspect of the job, is it really does apply to anyone.
Well, and that's what's been neat, participating in the forums, is seeing that, YNAB has grown over the years. And one of your last podcasts was great with a guy from London.
Yeah.
And there's folks from Australia and all over. And no matter what the currency is, the principles apply. And that's pretty cool to see too.
Yeah, it really is. Well, we have a lot of stuff in store, and we're hoping we can keep. You were talking about making having the concepts be just not totally foreign, but a little twist on how we look at money through the kind of a YNAB lens. So we're really going to start trying to focus on having the software teach people that a little better as they go. Kind of hold their hand a little more. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think the videos and the tutorials and all the free webinars really help. And it takes a little bit to get started, but after about 2 to 3 months, you really start to get the concepts, and then all of a sudden you start to get more wiggle room. And it's just been neat after 3 years to see that the power of what it continues to open up for you over time. And it's a lot of fun to see.
So what are you paying cash for now that you used to not pay cash for?
Oh, geez, yeah. I'm happy to say I was able to buy my our last 2 cars as used cars and paid for cash for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're saving up for a kitchen edition, which is my wife's absolute dream.
Cool. Was that a woohoo? Did I hear a woohoo?
It was an absolute woohoo.
Awesome.
So, and we're going to do it in phases. We're going to build it. We're going to build it first, this year, and then pay cash next year for the cabinets and everything. And, YNAB teaches you the value of time as well, because it allows you to break things up and use time for your advantage on building things over time versus just spending it and going, uh-oh, how do we pay for it now?
Yeah, and then, being frantic after. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Was there anything else you want to tell anyone listening to the podcast? And then I'll let you get back to your Friday.
I just think that everybody's in different situations, and sometimes it's very stressful. But by just plugging away and being on the forums and really following YNAB and the principles, next thing you know, you're in a situation that's totally different and like mine. And so, just for people, if you're hesitating on whether to purchase YNAB and really embrace it, don't. Just go after it, and it will make a huge difference for you.
Very cool. Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it, and I'm sure people listening. I've had feedback that hearing other people's stories is pretty motivating. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit of yours, and also appreciate your advice to newbies on the forum and kind of paying that forward in a way. So
Well, and thanks to you and your team. You got everybody there who's really responsive and wanted to help. And you asked earlier about the difference between Quicken and this and that. For years, I paid upgrade fees for that stuff, and you can never get a hold of anybody, influence anything. You guys are out there listening and constantly incorporating what we're asking for, and that is a whole different feel for things. So thanks for that.
Well, I appreciate it. All right, well, you have a good weekend, and we will definitely catch you on the forums. So,
you got it. You take care, Justin.
You too. Bye-bye, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Until next time, follow YNAB's 4 rules, and you will win financially. You have not budgeted like this.